Now this is Hollywood Unlocked. What up, everybody? It's Hollywood Unlocked Uncensored. I'm Jason Lee.
What's good, y'all? It's DJ Damage.
All right, so listen, now you know all the fans that got this alert, I already know you're on here. You ain't coming here to see me. You're coming here to see the mother of Black Hollywood,
Yes.
Miss Jenifer Lewis.
Woo.
I said this to you right before we got started, and I have to say it again. All the people who support Hollywood Unlocked and people that probably don't even support us but found the interview, found what you shared during that last conversation to be so special. It touched so many people. Your story has healed so many people who have had abuse or who felt neglected or felt taken advantage of. And then just to be able to rise out of it all and not only put it in your book, but to emulate it in real life on this show. It really touched a lot of people. It touched me. As you know, I went and wrote my first book after I read your book and after our interview, because you told us at the end, go tell your story. So I had to get off my ass because I already know if you would have came back and I didn't have no book, you would let me have it. But you're such an inspiration and you're such a jewel. And I just have to say, like, I am privileged to have this show, but more so to talk to people like you. You inspire me and you've inspired a lot of our people. And they love you. They say you're within our number 2 best show we've ever done. So
who the fuck was the first one?
but see, that's what I'm saying. To me,
I hope it was like Michelle Obama.
To me, you're number 1. You're probably number 1 to them too. But you know, I had to say number 1 and 2 because there's other people that's gonna call and say, "Motherfucker,
that's true. That's true. Well, give them my number, and that will let them know that they are, in fact, number 2.
Listen, I'm so grateful that you're back. I love the fro.
That's a pretty bitch right there, ain't it?
Gorgeous.
So what have you been up to?
I let her walk out on Angela Davis's birthday when I was in I think, 10th grade. I've always loved this crown. I used to get them silly ass relaxers and burn my scalp. I was pretty with that slick back hair because I got one of those Egyptian shaped heads. And I got a bad rotator cuff. So I had to have surgery on my shoulder. And I couldn't comb my hair. So I cut it off. Well, here come my little baby naps. I hadn't seen them in years. My naps, my antennas to God. Black people, are you aware?
Hello.
What does an antenna look like? It's a little twirl, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is an antenna, your communication to the cosmos. And we fry it and lay it back and stop that flow. Wake up, children. I love myself.
Woo.
Listen, I've been recently listening to, ironically, India Ari's I'm Not My Hair. And she talks about, I'm much more than my hair and my skin tone. And it's so real, like in the times we're living now. And I think about you because you've been talking about being registered to vote before it became the cool thing to do.
Yeah. You know what? I could go on so much about what's going on today in this world. It would blow y'all off this screen. The shit I know. The holes and the caves I have crawled in all over the world and seen it with my own eyes. Having gone on the book tour of the mother of Black Hollywood and gone into the trenches. Having a book signing in Detroit, but going on over to Flint. I saw that dirty water with my own eyes, ladies and gentlemen. I just got back from Flint. Yeah. I saw that dirty water with my own eyes. But not to my surprise, Flint ain't fixed.
Woo.
Flint ain't fixed. Flint ain't fixed. Bitches.
Woo! And why do you listen? I think that we had Amanda Seals on the show. I keep saying this line she used. She said, "We're having an eruption of consciousness. People are having an eruption of consciousness." You look at what's happening with Flint. They're doing this "Make Me Over" challenge or whatever, "Challenge Me Beautiful" on Instagram. It's like, no, let's do the Breonna Taylor challenge because our issues still are not even important to people. Like what?
Here's the thing. Everybody's got one job to do living on this amazing planet. And that is to take care of yourself. Well-being, alignment in your own skin, in your own soul. You know what I found out during this quarantine?
What's that?
I used to think I had 5 minutes. I got 1 second to live. That's what we got to act like.
Mm-hmm.
We got to act like it's the last second. Who you gonna call and tell them you love? What's gonna be that last phone call when you're laying up there with COVID and you know you got one more breath left? Who are you gonna call? Well, call them now. It's some short shit, y'all. I'm 63, and when I tell you, I am in love with life. This lockdown put a fire in my ass. An urgency. This is urgent. Our people are dying. This is immediate. Attention must be paid. Not only to what's going on outside of your house, but what's in the mirror. Who are you going to the march? What G? You got energy to go? Did you eat? And you're going to be real angry there, angrier than you would have been, and then get yourself in some dumbass trouble? Life is about paying attention to your own steps, to your own choices. We have a choice. I am writing my second book now. I'm starting a chapter. Yes. It's titled The Whole.
Wait, say it again.
It's the whole?
The whole of the ship.
The whole.
Down under.
So what inspired that? Is just everything that's happening in the times?
No, I had started this book a long time ago, right? The July after my last book came out, I started the second one because I knew it was important to tell the world what happened to that girl. What happened to that woman that went through all of that abuse and then did all that work? How's she doing? Well, I can tell you one thing. I am still a skippy go happy motherfucker.
So this book then is like
everybody together.
Say it again.
Skippy go happy motherfucker.
Okay.
It's a flow to a skippy book.
Great. So is this second book then a pickup from the first one? Because the first one,
yes, it pretty much will be, Jason. It's what happened to her. What happened after she became a movie star and a television star and healthy and beautiful and world traveled and educated? What happens to a person that took the stairs opposed to the elevator?
Now I will tell you, I've heard a lot of audiobooks since you gave me your book and signed it, but I then went and got the audiobook because I had, after interviewing you, I had to hear if you read it in your voice. And you read the fuck out of that book. That book, I'm telling you right now, I've heard a lot of other audiobooks that are very boring. That book should have won a Grammy.
Yeah, I got to tell you something. This is great news I'm getting ready to tell everybody. I was sitting here in quarantine and I got a call out of left field that that I'm now a member of the 2021 class receiving my star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Congratulations. Well deserved.
That blew me away. So you speak of Emmy, Grammy, Tony, Oscar. Those were the 4 awards I literally prayed for all my life. That was all I wanted. Tony, Grammy, Emmy, Oscar, EGOT. Well, lo and behold, I got the biggest one.
Right.
Because very few people are on that Hollywood Walk of Fame that doesn't have one of the big ones. And everybody just thinks I have those awards. I don't. But let me tell you what I do have. I have peace of mind. Let me tell you something else I have. I'm generous. Don't ask me for shit. You gotta love me. I mean, look, I don't want to even use the word happy.
Grateful.
Let me say this about the pain we carry. It will never disappear. It will dissipate if you fill your life with other things.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to go down there and pull the pain out first. You got to pull that shit out from the root. You got to go out in the garden. You can't snatch a weed. A weed's going to grow back. Got to go down deep and get that pain and then leave it there.
Yeah.
Leave it there and go about your business.
So is that ex of yours in this new book? The one that the scammer?
Oh, the con artist? Oh, yeah. Because
the way can I just say the way you told that story? I've seen you tell it since. I'm gonna tell everybody from when anybody that's interviewed Jenifer Lewis after we did, she did not tell the story to you the way she told it on this show. Whenever I want to laugh, if I have a friend coming from out of town, I put that interview on and I go right to when you start telling that story and we laugh.
I don't even remember what I said, but the details are going to be in the new book. The working title of the new book is Walking in My Joy.
That's good.
Yeah, no, it's powerful. It's so powerful. Because what it's talking about is it's take that breath. I was climbing a icy hill in Antarctica this past November. And I was coming up over to the top of the mountain. I knew when I would go over, I was going to see my first penguin colony. 400,000 penguins. Oh my God. But I took a breath before I went to look at it because I knew what I was about to see would be new to my eyes. Never seen no shit like that before. And I took that breath. I sat down on a jagged rock. And my whole life went before me. I said, what's a little colored girl doing here in Antarctica with 400,000 penguins? What she doing here is where she wants to be, bitches. That's why she's here. My best friend works with Wanda Sykes. And he told her, Jenifer's leaving for Antarctica in 2 days. Wanda Sykes replied with one word. Why?
I can hear it in her voice too.
So I made a videotape of her, of these sweet little penguins shooting out of the water, coming up on the land. And you know, they walk like this. And there's a chapter in The Mother Black Hollywood titled Shoulders Back, Titties First. So think about it. That's how them fucking penguins were walking. Shoulders back. And so I sent her the video and I said, that's why, bitch. You ain't ask no more questions.
Now, really quickly, I want to thank you. One, because you inspired Jason to go on his book journey. But for me personally, 2 years ago, I was in a dark depression. And I remember stumbling over one of your interviews and you were talking about feeling your feelings.
Yeah.
And it sounded so simple, but I feel like in life, we try to mask our feelings. We run away from our feelings. We do things to distract us from our feelings, but to actually lean into those feelings helps so much. And I got that from watching your interview.
You gotta go somewhere and sit quiet. You gotta go to that place, guys. It's dark. It's a dark place. We were touched as children. Didn't even have to be a touch. It could have been a glance. You got to go deep. I'm sorry. Swim, bitch.
Something simple you said here on the show too that was very difficult, and I didn't think it would be hard to do. You said, "Have you ever just stared at yourself in the mirror
Yeah.
and said I love you?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Hold
Come
on,
on now.
listen. I said, "Why did she come on this show with this bullshit?" Because now,
Yes. That
because
particular exercise. Go ahead, Jason.
because that was the beginning of the journey I had to go on in physically falling back in love with myself, not putting my work and money first, not putting relationships I could build first, not putting the Hollywood hustle first, but literally I listened to what you said at the beginning of starting the book, which I didn't even understand would be such an emotional journey, having to look at myself in the mirror and say I love you, knowing that that was the hardest thing to do. And I will also say, every time Tiffany Haddish would FaceTime me, right before she hangs up, she would say, "I love you," but I would hang up on her I would hang up on her first because I didn't want to receive that because I knew I then had to give it back and I didn't know how to do that
It's
in a
so
safe way.
deep. It's so deep. I had been dating this guy for a while, and we were coming down the 405, and like a fool, I'd gotten him a job on some gig I was doing. That's the last thing you should do is shit where you eat. Remember that shit. And we were on our way home, and I turned to him, and I said, "Don't you know I love you?" See what happened to me? I'm
Mhm.
going to tell you how he responded. He said, "Jenifer, I don't even know what that is." It's okay. I tried to help him because I
Mhm.
was in therapy at the time. Don't ever think you can shrink somebody else. Don't try to shrink your partner.
Mm-mm.
That shit don't work.
Mm-mm.
Um,
That's deep.
I respected him for saying it, but don't hold on too much to people's pain, fascinated by it. Get that shit out of there.
Mhm.
You go fix your own shit. Don't be standing there all noble and because you done had 2 therapy sessions, you think you know some shit. No.
But why do you think we do that? Because TD Jakes just posted something that I reposted where he said, "Stop trying to make the neck bone connect to the leg bone. Stop trying to make." Basically, what he was saying without profanity is stop trying
That's that. Yeah, I love that I can cuss. I talked to Maxine Waters the other day. I said, "Girl, you can't cuss. I can."
to. Right.
You know,
So basically,
we're from the same hometown, Maxine Waters and
oh
I.
yeah, she just was on the show too. I love her, and
Oh, she's everything.
she's everything. She's a treasure, but very much like you and like her, you both have been saying shit that has been important. That's important today. Y'all been saying it. She
Yeah.
been saying it, you know. And but what TD Jakes was saying was, stop trying to make shit fit. Stop trying to make relationships fit. Stop trying to build somebody up. If it don't fit, it's not for you. But I
I'll
just,
go back to the urgency of life.
yeah.
Do what makes you feel good, fool. Now, I'm not going to lie to y'all. A friend of mine had a big birthday last night, and I had him come over. We sat out by the pool, distance. We had some red wine. I drank too much. I don't really drink a lot, but I drank too much last night because I was actually having a good time, and I
Right.
knew I would. I regret that today because I don't feel as up to go downstairs and work out like I would.
Mhm.
Now, wasn't nothing wrong with me drinking 3 glasses of wine while I'm at my own home. But no, it didn't make me feel good. Now, I use something that's simple where other
Mhm.
people are doing real heavy shit. It doesn't matter. You cannot measure sin. You cannot put a thermometer when you turn on the grid. Oh, shit. Don't let me start now. And you know it's wrong.
Mhm.
It's going to hurt. Now, I'm talking red wine, but we know what we're talking about.
Right.
We're talking about all fuck ups.
Right.
Come on, people.
Why do you feel like us as people, we neglect ourselves? When you talk about wellness and you talk about making yourself feel good, doing what makes you happy, why is it that as people, we just neglect ourselves and our needs?
Because we were betrayed in our childhood,
Mm.
but they didn't know they did it. I listened to you this morning, Jason, while I was putting on my makeup. when you talked about your molestation and how you went and told your mother. She didn't believe me. She knew.
Yeah.
She knew. My mother knew.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else's mama knew.
And and that's why I said in the book, I said she had been molested, so she knew she knew.
Thank you. And she not only knew she knew, but she also knew she didn't have the tools or skills to let you know she knew.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She didn't know how to love you, baby. She
Yeah.
didn't have time.
Listen,
She didn't have time.
if you all are watching the show and you haven't read her book or you haven't listened to the Audible, the Mother of Black Hollywood, you really have to listen to it, because what'll happen is you'll have your own self discovery. You'll read, you know, and the thing I try to make my book extremely relatable, like you did yours, because then as people are reading, as I read your book, as people have read mine and they've given me the feedback, they read something and it sparks something in them that they haven't addressed, or anger they may have had with their mother. Like you were able to work through yours with your mom. I
Yes,
was at a later time, but your book is so it's not even a book. It's a roadmap for me.
oh,
Like,
baby, wait for this second one. This second one's gonna blow y'all out. This
yeah.
second one gonna tear y'all up because I'm doing the entire detailed story of the con artist.
Mhm.
I'm also
Because people wouldn't look at you, Jennifer Lewis, as strong as you are, as influential as you've been in all of our lives, and think it could happen to you, not knowing that they're probably being conned too.
that's what makes me strong.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes us all strong. The shit we can live through. Oh, honey, I was mad at God. I said, nigga, you send me a con artist. Me? Me? I thought I was your girl. Oh, well, fuck you, man. And then because you feel you were hurt, you want to hurt yourself even more. Do you understand?
Yeah.
That's where you gotta.
Do,
That's where you
do,
gotta say, Mr. Danger up there. You gotta hold on. You understand? You got. That's when you hold the line. I've had 2 suicidal friends reach out to me during this quarantine time. I literally had to go to one house and put my finger down her throat. 1 o'clock in the morning. Now I'm going to tell you what I told her the next day because I stayed over. I said, you listen to me, little girl, and you listen real good. I don't have time for this kind of bullshit. You get me out of my bed. I got 4 little boys over at my house, half black, half Japanese. But when they go out in the world, they ain't gonna be known by no fucking Japanese. They gonna be
No, they're
black,
black men. Yeah, for
and they
sure.
are from 8 to 14. I'm trying to give these 4 boys a start in life so they'll grow up to be good black men. I can't sit up here with your ass with this. Suicide is too easy. And you called the right one, because I'll never come up here again.
Mm.
If Ruth Ginsburg can hold on like she's holding on,
She's holding on.
if Harriet did what she did, if John Lewis did what he did, if Mandela did what he did, and if I did what I did, bitch, which is why you called me, then get up! Now I have to go. Bitch. She's in rehab now.
that's good.
I sent her to somebody I knew, and she's in rehab, and you know, it's a new day. I love hard. I don't have time, y'all. Go down to the bottom and get the root of it. You know what happened. Stop lying to yourself. Oh, that didn't happen. Yes, it did. And you knew. My girlfriend, she married a really young guy. The guy ended up molesting her daughter. She let him back in the house where he lived, back in the back room, which wasn't back enough. but then came back into my life after many years and tried to tell me the story like, woe is me. I looked at her, I said, honey, you knew. She was like, first person to say that to me.
But that's what I feel like is lacking in Hollywood. People don't say to people what they need to hear. And so when now you've been very public about your battle with battle and conquering of bipolar disorder. And so you look at Kanye West, who just basically said Harriet Tubman freed the slaves to go work for white people and all that.
I posted Harriet Tubman the next day, the one with her face real big and beautiful and black with character and life in her. And the caption was, don't ever come for a grown black woman. Don't ever come for one. You will lose. Now, that's not the point, but somebody, somewhere, is going to have to take that baby in their arms and rock him.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why when I think of you, do you get it with what he's going through? Do you get?
Yeah.
Do you get?
Yeah. Honey. Let's just get to that. Kanye West is critically ill, suffering profoundly from bipolar disorder. He is completely and utterly out of control. When I see him, when I saw him, oh God, when I saw that boy crying.
You talked here on the show about the mania that you were going through. That's why I thought about you.
Yeah. Oh no, I had episodes like that daily when I wasn't treated.
How do you feel about the criticism of those close to him, like Kim? And, every time he has these episodes, people be like, who's around him, his team? Like, they put a lot of blame on the people in his circle. How do you help somebody going through that?
Kanye's not going to do anything he doesn't want to do. You want to criticize Kim about something, criticize her about something she did. And you don't need to be criticizing that anyway, because he who is without, let him cast the first stone. Leave people alone.
How do you provide assistance for somebody that's going through that? Like, what could you do?
You can if they want. If they won't, you can't. Now, if he were 17, you could snatch his ass, take him out to a desert, and you were his parent, and leave him there for 5 years to get treatment. But you can't do that with an adult. They have to come around, just like any drug. The mania, the chemical imbalance in the brain is a drug. It is it's an elixir. I can't think of the name. Fuck it. Anyway, you're fucked up. You're fucked up. You're fucked up. Okay. Yeah, you're fucked up. That's it. Yeah, you're fucked up. That's it. So anyway, oh God damn, I love myself. Can't nobody do nothing with Kanye, baby. Kanye's gonna have to do it for himself. There's nothing anybody can do. You can't do anything with a person that is not ready. That's how the con artist came into my life. I wasn't paying attention. It doesn't matter how much attention you're paying to somebody or not paying somebody. What are you doing? What are you doing? Ask yourself, what am I doing? Do I sleep peacefully? I sleep like a bear because I live like a lioness. Yeah. Come on, Jenny. Titties and hips for my book.
But don't you think that us as a people have to start because anytime Kanye has an episode or something like that, they expect me to just rip him apart, and I'm like, we have to have empathy.
No, you mustn't do that.
Yes.
Don't rip nobody apart. He's sick, and if you follow him, just like if you follow Trump, you just might be a little sick too. Might want to check in. Get the fuck out of here with that. If that boy takes those votes from Trump, if he actually goes through with that shit and take votes from Biden, Auntie Jenny just may have to find
a song. You might have to write a song.
Yeah, oh, honey, I'll find him then. If they go too far, I'll find him.
The last time I saw you, we were at a party and you were tucked away in the corner with fashion designer Jeremy Scott. And I really wanted to know what y'all were talking about because y'all were.
I'm talking about nothing. We were howling, laughing, and screaming. But no, I don't remember.
Yeah.
Child. But it was 3:30 in the morning and Cardi B hadn't got there. I left. I said, fuck that. But I tell this story, and wait a minute. I tell this story in my book, and then I say that I drank on the first night I was on the ship in Antarctica, and then it got bumpy on the Drake Passage, and I said, oh my God, I hadn't been drunk since Cardi B's party. Because my nephew reminded me, oh, Auntie, you were drunk. I said, you gotta be drunk to meet Cardi B.
Well, listen, everybody, my team kept running up to me saying, G-Eazy's here, Tyga's here. But then when you came, they were like, oh my God, you're not going to believe who's about to walk in. I go, who about to walk in now? Jenifer Lewis. I said, where's she at for real? And, just anytime you see the people get a privilege to meet you, you're such good energy. Like, I don't know how you have it like that all the time, but it should be bottled up and sold.
You know how I have it? You know how I have it? I wanted it. I wanted on my face what I left on other people's faces. This big smile. I wanted to live. I never thought I'd run around quoting the Constitution. The pursuit of happiness. God damn, y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you, it feels great because, my shit stinks. Come on now. I know who I am. But if you stay in a place the best you can, if you stay in a place of receiving love and giving it, no matter how you express it, if it's smelling a rose or if it's sitting in front of a baby and just staring at its eyes so you don't think about nothing stinky or bad or war. When you're looking in a baby's eyes, you can't think about nothing but love. Sunsets, moon rises. My scenario is not going to change. I know what makes me happy. Nature. I say that in my book. I'm married to nature and I have a fabulous marriage. That's just where I am right now. I'm loving life. Am I scared like everybody else? Yes, but I am unafraid. Bring it, bitch.
Well, listen, you have the song "All Hands on Deck." Get your knees off our neck, and so like I had heard, I had heard that you. What does it say? All hands on deck. Get your knees, off our necks. And I know that you have said you see yourself as 75% activist, 25% actor. Explain that.
Well, first of all, after I wrote the song, it went viral. All hands on deck, get your knee off my neck. I mean, what else could come out of my mouth after I saw that asshole put his knee on that man's neck and just kill him in front of the world? And I designed this. Now, tomorrow, well, when is it coming out? I don't know. Just go there. Go to jeniferlewis.com. I just got a new website. I think it's so cute. I don't care about all that bullshit. My generation we could care less. But anyway, we're selling these t-shirts and all the profits. Read my lips, people. All the proceeds. Y'all know damn well I don't need no money. Hey, titties and hit. All the proceeds are going to go to organizations, nonprofit organizations dealing with injustices. Okay, so I want you to go to jeniferlewis.com and get some t-shirts for Christmas and shit, because all those proceeds will go to those things. But yeah, I am 25% show business. I am show business.
Yeah, you are show business.
But my energy is now directed toward the revolution. and what has to be done here. This is an amazing moment.
Aren't you proud of seeing all the activity and everybody out there just, I mean,
Heaven, I'm so proud of my babies. I'd be so proud of y'all. You know, I said something in an interview with Entertainment Tonight Canada. And I did say out loud, I said I might get a little flack from this. But there's a huge part of me that wishes my generation had done more. We did our best, but we could have done more. I know I could have. And
but don't you think your generation did a lot? I mean, just
we did a lot. Now you got to understand my generation. I was too young in the 60s, and now I'm too old in the 2020. Not too old, you know.
Yeah.
Should have seen me last night on that red wine. I wasn't old then.
I want to know.
Now you know damn well I didn't do nothing. Go ahead, baby. All right.
Now, how do you feel about the athletes today? Because I know I've seen in the interview you were a little critical of the athletes going back to work, but now you see some of the basketball players using their
child, every bitch in the world will take a knee now. Oh, we going on our knee now. Everybody, I can't breathe, can't nobody breathe. I saw with my own eyes, children, the ice melting in Antarctica. Are we clear? If we don't grow up and stop acting up, none of us will be able to breathe. Are we clear? Oh, that shit shoots through me. Also, I'm kind of trying to find what your question was. What did you say?
Well, I was seeing how you felt about athletes today because they're using their platforms to kind of bring more awareness.
Yes, when we go back, everybody's going down in the bleachers. Do you understand? When we get back, the whole stadium goes down. That ain't no more bullshit now. Those athletes are the gladiators of our time, and you will lead the way. They will lead the way now. I think a lot of people understand now. They didn't understand before. And like I said with Don Lemon on CNN, we have a right to protest on one knee because our ancestors took 2 knees in the cotton fields. Don't y'all ever forget that shit. You get down on one knee when we go back. You get down on one knee when you out there in them streets. You take a knee. You take it in your soul. And when we come back, you will do it. We will go down in order to rise up.
So in the book, The Mother of Black Hollywood, you talked about how you surrendered when you were speaking to the universe, to the higher power, and then came back and got Blackish. We're now in the final season of Blackish. And that's kind of bittersweet. Bitter because, I mean, people love Ruby. They love you. They love the show. But sweet because it's been such a successful journey and such a successful show. And the family that you all created on television has literally become our family. How do you feel about the show ending and the impact that you had in the show?
Oh, wow. What a question. Well, Blackish certainly was good to me. It is a show that I'm extremely proud of. Everything from Juneteenth to police brutality. You know, I got to spend this, I should say, climactic time in my life. These are my golden years. These are not dark times to me. These are awakening times. That bitch Trump has awakened a sleeping giant. People are asleep on their sofas. Everybody in the world now is like, what the fuck? Pandemic. Civil unrest. What? No, bitch. No. Yeah, you're fucked. So wake the fuck up. Wake up and do something for somebody else, somewhere. sleeping and shit, all that complacency. You get up, you go to your 9 to 5, you come home, you get high, you watch TV, you go to sleep, you get up the next day, you drive 5 fucking hours and it's a thick traffic, you come back home, you drink, you smoke, you bunch. Well, Merry Christmas, bitch. Time to get the fuck up. Lex Luthor is finally in the White House. And Bruce Willis ain't here to save our asses. So wake the fuck up.
Don't you think all of these activities that you just talked about, fucking Trump, the pandemic that we were warned about and he turned a blind eye to, don't you think that's all what, and the Black Lives Matter stuff with the George Floyd and Breonna Taylor's, it has just created a sense of humanity now that we need to be able to fight through this shit, right?
There's plenty of people, but not just here, all over the world. This kind of oppression is all over the world. And oh my God, watching these sea of people moving down the streets in all these countries, it's like a, I just get up and start going, I dance my ass off in my house. I be dancing my ass off. I mean, literally just dancing. And I ask myself, are you crazy, Jenny? And then I say no and keep dancing. There'll be no music on. I can't help myself. You know what, Jason, I joke. But I guess I'm just happy. You know, I was depressed for the first, 35 years of my life. So I guess I just feel free now. I took care of myself. And yeah, I guess if you want to say I won, yeah, I fucking won. I remember my therapist telling me, Jenifer, it's not winning or losing. No, bitch, I won. I won because I got a smile on my face. I won. So I say to the millennials,
Which, by the way, you have a lot of influence over millennials.
well, yeah, y'all grew up with me. I'm like everybody's mama and auntie.
That's for
And
sure.
yeah, they listen to me, and I love that they do because I have something to say. You know, I speak from my heart. People say, why do you do this? 2 words. I care. I care. And I've been saying this. I said this to my friend last night. Isn't it amazing that naive though I was, I lived 63 years at least believing I was free and righteously pursuing the American dream. Now, why wouldn't I want that for y'all? Here comes a fucking pandemic. Who? That shit. Ronald's a bitch, ain't she? That bitch will tear your head. My nephew, who's a kinesiologist, he said COVID-19 has one objective. To enter the body and hunt. She's a nasty bitch. Y'all better take care of your the only weapon in this thing is to keep a healthy immune system.
Yeah.
That's one of the weapons. You've got to eat right. You've got to exercise. You've got to drink water. You've got to take vitamins or whatever the hell you got to do. But you better keep yourself. That's why I said that when we first started. Self-care. That's your job. Your job is not to be concerned about who's wearing what or whose hair got did and whose didn't.
And isn't that like, if you were to try to find a silver lining in the bullshit, the COVID-19 really did equalize everything. It if you're passing by a homeless person on the street, or you're looking at the president, or you're looking at an actor or a person at the post office, it's something that's affected everybody.
It was the one time that globally, every human being was in the consciousness of contemplating their own death. Is this shit gonna get me?
Yeah.
That thought. Am I gonna die from it? I'll tell you, in March, when this shit happened, I was on my way to 7 countries. Just my hiatus from Blackish. I was going to Spain, Morocco, Portugal, Israel, Jordan, Turkey, and then I was going to sneak over to Uganda and sit with the silverbacks.
Oh my God, that story, that's another story that had us just dying.
Oh, I mentioned that. Oh, yeah, my gorilla over at the LA Zoo.
No, where you talked about being over in Africa and the guy that had the spear, remember?
The Maasai.
Yeah.
That's going to be in the book, too. The Maasai warrior that saved my life from a Cape buffalo. I walked over to a big ass buffalo in the middle of the Serengeti, and I said to her, I said, listen, bitch, I knew she was a female because of the shape of her horns. I said, listen, bitch, now I'm black, you black, and I got to get back to Blackish. Well, if you don't mind, you can kill this goddamn Maasai warrior, but I've got to go.
I got shit to do.
I got a show to do.
So the star on Hollywood, what does that mean to you? Like, what is that? Does that validate all of who we all know you are, and more so all of the journey that you've been on to get to where you are?
I'm going to tell you right now what that star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame means to me. Wow. What it did for me is it humbled me into knowing that there is no recipe for manifestation. There's no recipe for getting exactly what you want in this life. I told you I prayed all my life for those awards, and now I got the big one without getting one of those.
Mm-hmm.
So what it says to me, wow. I'm so excited because I'm in this sort of state of neutrality writing this second book. It's pouring out of me. And I heard you say this on Charlemagne the God. You said that you were concerned about hurting some people in your book.
Mm-hmm.
So was I. So was I. And I did call people. I said, do you want me to use your real name? And only one person said, I don't want you to. And I didn't. He regretted that, dumb bastard. But because I was going to insinuate that he could have possibly been gay. Come on, y'all. Who cares? Once again, who gives a fuck about that? But this star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, it just really it confirms that there's no recipe in praying and wishing and hoping and manifesting. You just have to stand your ground and state what it is that you want, and then go on and keep those palms open instead of like this. Just know that ain't nothing coming if this is happening. You got to be free so that the river, you see, there's a river of consciousness up there. What are you going to pull down today? What spice are you going to use in your pie? That's choice. That's what we have. Choice.
And that applies to you, and that applies to you personally too. Like if you, like you said, stand in the mirror and say, I love you. I love myself. And if you can't do it, stand in that until you can, and then work through that. And eventually you will find the path to self-love, right?
And some people, they say, oh, Jenifer, ain't nobody got time to be looking in the mirror. You stood there for 2 hours and put on your makeup, didn't you?
And didn't even see yourself.
Thank you. Come
No,
on.
no, thank you, because that was the gem that you gave us.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm not giving you many sound bites today, but I'm right in the middle of writing the book, and I'm so consumed with the trash truck out there. I'm used to a sound stage. Action. Yes, as I was saying. Listen, guys, come here. Come close. I said all that to say this. being well with your soul. If you don't have that, the bullshit's just gonna domino. It doesn't stop. Life's not gonna stop for you to get on some wheel that you would like to be on. Bitch, jump. Jump. Fight for your life. I don't know. I'm gonna share this because I had this like dream that because the person I was with last night was so filled with so many different conspiracy theories about what's going on with the 5G and the this and the Illuminati and the this and the that and that. What is all going on? And I listened. But all I kept thinking inside of myself is, this is my story. This is my story. And if all that shit is going on, then so be it, bitch. But I'm here right now. And I'm gonna party till the Nazis get it. I'm not scared of this shit. Whatever they got planned. I know what I got planned. I know that if given the opportunity, the last two words I'll say before I pass this plane will be thank you. I had a great time. Because I grew to learn how precious and important we truly are in the whole scheme of it all. The worst thing that has happened during this time, and I'm going to begin the chapter, the whole. I'm talking about the middle passage.
Yeah.
It's going to begin with what this woman said, and many of you heard it. She had a Confederate flag on her, wrapped there, and she pointed her finger and yelled, I'm going to teach my grandchildren to hate you. I haven't turned on the news since. I don't want to know what she's made of. I don't want to know what spice you used, bitch. I don't want to know who you are. I don't want to understand the other side. Fuck you.
There was another woman on the news who said
Go ahead.
something like that, and then a couple weeks later, she got hit by a fire truck and got killed.
Oh, well, that's nice. I'm so happy. Now, I do want to admit that I was driving it, but, I hope you know. But listen, here's the thing. I stay informed, but don't swim in that shit, y'all. Don't stay in that Trump shit every day, all day. Don't be listening to Fox News and all that. Don't do that to yourselves. That's not feeding your soul. That's not doing anything for you. You go and listen to yourself. I'm going to say this again. I want to encourage everyone to journal. Write your story like Jason did, my little boo-boo. I heard you thanked me in your book. Thank you.
I did. Thank you.
Very sweet. I'm honored. I mean that from my soul. Whenever I inspire and motivate anyone to do anything, you cannot imagine the gratitude. I am grateful because I know where I came from. I went from everything to nothing. But that's funny. Freudian. I who have nothing. Y'all don't know that. Y'all too young. Anyway, I just had a very bipolar moment, but it was lovely. And I loved myself even while doing it in front of the public. And why, like you, Jason, I don't fucking care. Anyway, what fucking story was I telling?
You're talking about being grateful to be able to inspire people to tell their stories and to do to do
And
that.
here's the other thing. People say, oh, how do you do that, Jenifer? How do you find what makes you happy? Do something for somebody else. And then look at how happy they are.
Mm-hmm.
Take the steps, the baby steps. Be nice. Tell the truth. Oh, that's a big one.
Yeah.
I love how transparent you are, Jason.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love that. That's everything.
In telling your story, how much do you have to consider the people in it?
Say that again.
In telling your story, how much do you have to consider the people in it? For example, if you look at the August Alsina, him telling his story, it involved Jada Pinkett Smith. Like when you have to live your truth and say something for you, do you consider those other people involved in the story?
Child, look, everybody has their own road.
Mm-hmm.
You tell what you tell. Your truth is your truth. If somebody was involved and you think you're going to hurt them, like I did, I called, say, you want me to use your name? Because I'm telling the truth over here.
Mm-hmm.
It happened. Yeah.
See, your book was so raw that it inspired me, just to your point, Damage, to tell my truth, and I did not think about everybody else. And the reason why I didn't was because I knew that if I didn't tell the story the way that I saw it and the way that I felt it and the way that I experienced it, one, I wasn't going to heal, and two, it wasn't going to have the impact that I wanted to have. You know, and I know that people have read the book and there's been fallout, and but a lot of my family has said, hey, like, I never even knew you were going through that with a mom who was bipolar. I didn't even know you were molested. I didn't even know you were gay then. Like, so they're having their own reactions to how they
Yeah, and you know what?
may not
All
have
of that's
contributed.
healing. It's healing to all parties.
Yeah.
Now, look, when I wrote a letter to my family about the pastor of my church molesting me, one of my sisters, whom I love, she said, Jenny, why did you write this letter to hurt us? I said, baby, I didn't write that letter to hurt you. You were hurt by the letter. And if there was nothing in the letter that was true, why are you hurt? Come on, y'all.
That's
Tell
real.
the truth. Don't try to hurt nobody, but you got to tell the truth. You
Yeah.
know if you're trying to hurt somebody or if you're trying to purge like you were, Jason. And if you have the time, call the person, say you want me to use your name. And if you don't have the number, oops. Sorry. The truth is the light, people. Wake up. Wake up. The truth is a light. And I'm talking about in my second book, True North. I'm talking about the truth, the whole truth. Lincoln said, if the North Star is up there, how dare we not honor how beautiful and bright it is? And why wouldn't we want to be as beautiful and as bright? Live in your light, bitch.
Facts. I
Live
love
in
it.
your light. And let me see your teeth.
I promise you.
You don't smile, bitch. Laugh.
I promise you, somebody today will hear me say, live in your truth, bitch. I don't know who. I got to go through my phone and see who's deserving of it, but they will hear
Right.
that.
Tell the truth.
So listen, I will be one of the first few people to buy this next book. I know the value of reading a Jenifer Lewis book and also listening to the Audible. I hope everybody, if you haven't read the first book, go do that, especially if this is going to be a follow-up. And I will be at the star ceremony. I might be on the other side of the gate with a mask on, but I'll hold up a sign that says
Oh
it's
no, you
Jason.
won't be on the other side, darling.
But I want to be
I
there
want
because
everybody I have ever loved, that I have ever ever. Listen, they may not even give it to me after the big fool I'm gonna act. I'm gonna have a gospel choir.
Shangela, is Shangela hosting or is
Oh
Shangela?
yes, honey, Shangela's hosting. Oh, he just got his show on HBO just got nominated for an Emmy.
Oh, cause send my congrats.
Yeah, we're here. Isn't that the name of it? We're here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm so happy for him. But listen, I'm gonna have a marching band. That's gonna be the big, and it's gonna be on Jackie Washington Day,
Oh yeah.
July 15th. So the gay boys are gonna go crazy.
Oh no, just the other day I was wondering why my Facebook was flooded with Jackie Washington posts. And I'm like, I knew you was coming on the show, but like I saw one, then I saw another, then it was everywhere.
It trended.
Yeah, I know.
Everybody, it's on YouTube. Just go to YouTube, y'all, and watch the movie Jackie's Back. It's just a funny little ditty I started back in, I think it was 1994. Something.
Yeah,
Anyway, it's a cult classic and it's a real fun movie. So go watch
yeah,
that.
the gay community loves you to death.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God. Homage and worship. And I love them too. Boy, they know that. I've been fighting
yeah.
for their ass all my life.
Well, listen, I it's a privilege to be able to interview you again. I will always support anything you do. I think that your value beyond what you've contributed to film and television is that book that's a gem that helped me find my story and the fact that I've shared it. So anybody that's ever been inspired by mine, it comes directly as a inspiration from you. So and I commit to put me, you, and Miss Cardi in the same room together because
Oh my God.
she was so late to that party and you were there partying having a good time and the only moment I wanted to see that night was you two connect, so I promise you I'm going to make that happen.
Oh, you better. She's a
Yeah,
sweetheart, bless her
yeah.
heart. How's she doing with that baby?
Baby's good. Baby just turned 2.
Oh, that's the edible age.
Yeah,
I got
well,
I think an 8-year-old running around here today. His children are so wonderful.
yeah, well, listen, so are you, so we're here for you and we'll support everything and
Yes.
you know the other thing I will say going out is in my book I talked about how you had surrendered and got Blackish, and I went on the balcony and said to God, okay, nigga, like, come on now, I need to go back on TV. He gave me wilding out. That prayer really does. I mean, when you release it and you really do open yourself up to blessings, if they're for you, they do come.
Yes. You have what you have to be the most important piece is to, I will say this. Take it there and leave it there. When you thought of it, you had an emotional attachment to it if you really wanted it. Not only did you have an emotional attachment to it, you saw it. You saw yourself get that car. You saw it when you thought it. So it's there. Just go get it. And don't let nothing stop you. See, I was like this. That's why I got what I wanted. I'd look that way and go, oh, fuck you. No, oh, that's nice, but you know what I'm saying? I hope y'all got what I just did. Anyway,
Yeah, yeah.
hey, self-care. That's all. You say, what is that, Jenifer? I don't have your answer, but I have mine. I'm going to take care of myself so I keep the smile on my face. That lets me know where I am. My joy lets me know where I am or if I should in fact get the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
But when you really surround yourself with it, it can't touch you. It's not even there for you to see it. Some shit will be happening over there, and if it's all negative, you don't even see that. You're not looking for it.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking for that next thing that makes you happy. And that's why I have a chapter in my next book titled Happy on Your Way to Happy.
Mm.
I said that on Charlemagne. Don't think you're going to get somewhere and then I'll be happy when I get there. No, bitch. Sorry. Because you're taking that same person to the island,
Mm.
bikini, to get some sun
Mm.
and hopefully get laid.
Okay, so I'm telling you now, once I read this next book, I'm going to ask Julia to pencil me in that book tour because I'm going to have to break it down because I already know the emotional roller coaster you're going to take everybody on. And if people need it, right now is the time where I think people need inspiration. Read that first book to see where you are now and what you've been through. It's just an opportunity to do some self-examination, because I said COVID is the time you never had to do the shit you wanted. So what are you talking about? Do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the last thing I want to say, Jason, is this. If you didn't know who you were before this all happened, you're in a little trouble. I'm going to tell you how to get out of that trouble. There's some shit I know. There's some recipes I do know. You got to find the balance in what you know that is good in your life. You gotta balance now. This time here on lockdown is a balancing act. My therapist told me right when it happened.
Rachel?
Yes, I love that you love her name. I said, she told me one thing that has gotten me through this quarantine. She said, Jenifer, if you stay in your adult, you'll get through this thing. If you collapse into your child where you feel helpless, hopeless, woe is me, start to garbage collect about what happened to my cousin, what happened to my mom, woe is me, bitch, you get 5 minutes of that. I ain't gonna take it from you. We all got some shit. And if you need 15 minutes or 20, take it. But you get up and find some joy. It's right outside the door. It's a tree, it's grass, it's the sky, it's a bird. Come on, get up. Get up. Balance that shit out. Write it out. Nobody can handle this shit by themselves. Life is too hard.
Facts.
I moved my family in here. I wasn't going through no fucking quarantine by myself. And I'm an alpha.
Right.
There's nobody around me, bitch. I got shit to do. I'm writing this book. Shut up. But no, you find somebody to call. I'm going to release a song maybe tomorrow, and I'll give you the first verse. Call somebody and tell them you love them. Call somebody and tell them you love and adore. This ain't the time to be all the way sad. This ain't the time to be all the way mad. It's time to love harder than we've ever loved before. Y'all do that now.
Thank you.
We will. Thank you. And we appreciate you. And we'll see you at that ceremony.
Yes.
Oh, you got that shit right.
Well, thank you so much for coming. And
Congratulations.
we'll definitely be in touch. And again, if you haven't read the first book, it's a bestseller. Go get it. It's definitely worth reading. Thank you, Miss Lewis. What up, YouTube? Thank you for watching this reckless show.
Yeah, and hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell.
And also don't forget to share and leave a comment, because we are reading.